Six chill, fool, for real, for real.
Judah, 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 Judah. Judah, 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 Judah. The step that would never leave Judah. The step that would never leave Judah. The step that would never leave Judah. I'm Judah. Christ sprang out of Judah. King David was Judah. King Asa was Judah. Don't crowd me up, who gon' rouse me up? Alistair Crowley, your time is up. It's a big mess, I gotta clean it up. Esau, the end of my kingdom's up. On the eagle's neck, I'll press. I woke up from my rest. I woke up from my arrest. My rulership is up next. No vex. Judah, 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 Judah. Judah, 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 Judah.
Shalom, brothers and sisters. Shalom. Thank you for joining us. We are here live in Virginia, Norfolk. Class days are Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays. Come on in, join us if you're in the metropolitan area. We also have a sister school. All right, we have a sister school or brother school in Houston. That's located in Houston. The address is on the screen. Our class days are Monday and Wednesdays from 7 to 9. Fridays from 6 to 8. Also, we have another location in Virginia. All right, so if you're in those areas, please feel free to drop on by. The more the merrier. All right, upcoming events, the current announcements for upcoming events. We have the Passover. That's on April 4th. If you haven't already, RSVP. That's like one of the best and most powerful holidays, high holy days that the Most High called us to come together.
The RSVP is already over. They should have already been on there.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. But yeah, definitely. Passover, April 4th. Different ways you can watch us. We have a blog talk. Michelle has a blog talk. That's every Tuesday and Thursdays at 10 a.m. That information is on the screen. We also have other ways to watch us. All right, that's as far as like the Israelite School of Biblical History and Practical Knowledge. We have the 5 Minutes of Wisdom. We have the kids class that's live every Sunday at 1 p.m. Definitely you want to feed your kids at an early age that knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. The scripture says, and it talks about guiding your child in the right way that he will not depart. So you definitely want to get a book and start it on the word. All right. What is that? Israel wear.
Oh yeah. No, right now Israel wears on hold.
So all Israel wear is on hold. We have Hebrew Academy in Houston. That's every Tuesdays. And if you're not able to get there, you can do it through via Zoom. All right, and in VA we have it every Wednesday out here. All right. If you have any questions, concerns, whatever is going on in your life, it's a text only during class. Priest Kazakh, his number's on the screen, or Priest Kwakazak, his number's also on the screen. During class hours, it's text only. After class, be mindful, be respectful. You can hit them up. All right. We also have.
Yeah. What do you mean be mindful and be respectful?
Like, when you call, because it's not about debate. When you call with questions, the concerns, we're not here to debate. We're only strictly.
Okay, yeah, that wasn't clear.
I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
My apologies. But yeah, you want to be mindful of when you come to questions, not having loaded questions with some secret intent or something, behind it. We stick to nothing but the scriptures, and that's how we answer the questions. Nothing more, nothing less.
Con.
We also have a business, Sweet Ambiance. All right, we're in the mall. We have them online, www.sweetambiance.com. Ladies' fragrances, therapeutic oils, medicinal oils, bath bomb soaps, what have you. Any beauty cosmetics, we deal in a natural oil way. Hit us up. And if you have any donations, we have the Wells Fargo account on there, as well as the address. You can send anything to, as far as monetary or pens, encyclopedias, dictionaries, books, apocryphals. It's all needed. All announcements. What we're going to do is let everybody log in, give them time to like, share, subscribe, all that good jazz. And we're going to start out with questions.
Yeah, you're right. You had a question. Go ahead.
Yes, sir.
Uh-huh.
Jeremiah chapter 1, verse 11.
Uh-huh.
Moreover, the word of the Most High came unto me, saying, Jeremiah, what seest thou? And I said, I see a rod of an almond tree. So I wanted, stopping right here, I wanted to know if this is symbolic to anything.
Well, it tells you. Go. Where you at?
Jeremiah chapter 1, verse 11.
Go ahead. Read down.
Verse 12. Then said the Most High unto me, Thou hast well seen, for I will hasten my word to perform it. Mm-hmm. And the word of the Lord came unto me the second time, saying, What seest thou? And I said, I see a soothing pot, and the face thereof is toward the north. Mm-hmm. Then the Lord said unto me, Out of the north an evil shall break forth upon all the inhabitants of the land.
Right, so the seething pot is this breaking out over all the land. Right?
That's symbolic for anything, or just
the destruction.
Okay,
the destruction was gonna happen during this time. Mm-hmm. This is the Babylonian Empire that was gonna come through.
Right.
So he's telling them, okay, what you're seeing is symbolic for this destruction that's gonna happen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And another question, Jeremiah chapter 2, verse 2.
Uh-huh.
Go and cry in the ears of Jerusalem, saying, Thus says the Lord, I remember thee, the kindness of thy youth, the love of thy spouses, when thou wentest after me in the wilderness, in a land that was not sown. So wilderness is just going back to I wanted to know.
Yeah, Egypt.
Egypt, okay.
Yeah,
the 40 years when we...
Yeah, he was saying that's when the Most High, that's when he espoused himself to us.
Okay.
Right? You go into, what is it, Ezekiel, where it says, not Ezekiel, it's Isaiah, where he says, I am married unto you.
Yeah.
So this is what he's pointing out. He's saying that espousal time was when we was in Egypt. Israel was holiness unto the Lord and the first fruits of his increase. So how the Most High brought us in under his wing, and he said he was going to make, he was going to follow that contract he made with Abraham. So this is what he's reiterating. You were holiness then.
Right.
Y'all were good. Y'all were in good spirits. You were right. Right? That's what he's talking about here.
Okay,
Yeah. Any other questions? Michael, you got anything? Nothing?
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
In Judges 14 and 8,
Uh-huh.
why was Samson eaten out of the carcass of the lion?
Well, so what you see, the theme of Judges was how Israel was going off. So Samson wasn't moving in the spirit all the time. When you look at Deborah and Barak wasn't moving in the spirit. Deborah had to tell him, listen, I need you to come with me, right? It can't be by a woman's hand, because Israel wasn't moving properly. So when the Most High, during the time of these judges, you had different priests that weren't doing the right thing, right? You had the one priest that was with the whore, right? She got chopped up, right? That you weren't supposed to deal with a whore. You were supposed to deal with a virgin. You had Samson. He was trying to deal with a woman of another nation. Their parents was like, look, you're supposed to be getting a woman of your own nation. So Samson wasn't always moving in the spirit. And those were one of the moments. He wasn't supposed to do that. He wasn't supposed to deal with a woman of another nation. You see that? He wasn't supposed to give his strength unto a woman and tell her, hey, look, this is my weakness. He did that. So the whole theme of that book, the Judges, was showing how the Most High was with us, but we weren't walking right all the time. So yeah, you got those moments in there. Any other questions?
Yeah, I got a question too.
Yes, sir.
I just want to know what's I say a good precept for Hebrews 4 and 12.
Hebrews 4 and 12. That sounds familiar.
Yeah, get to it.
Hebrews 4 and 12. Go ahead and read that.
This is Hebrews 4 and 12. For the word of Yahweh is quick
Right?
and powerful and sharper than a two-edged sword, piercing even to the dividing asunder of soul and spirit, and of the joints and marrow, and is a discerner of the thoughts and intent of the heart.
So there's a few things that come that when you ask a precept, so you can, for the word of the Most High is quick, right?
God.
You can precept that.
Right.
Right? And then for the word of the Most High is quick and powerful, right? You can precept that.
Okay.
And sharper than a two-edged sword, right? So you can precept that, right?
Okay.
So which part you want to precept? Because you can break down this whole verse right here and just precept it, what it's talking about. Just showing like where it says quick.
Yeah.
I quoted that earlier. You can go to Wisdom of Solomon 7:22 and show how the Spirit of the Most High, when it moves, it is quick, right? You see? So, I'm kind of being technical on this, but really I'm asking, what part do you want to precept? Because you can precept the whole thing and break it down really nice. But that Wisdom of Solomon 7:22, read that on the quick part.
On Wisdom of Solomon 7:22?
Yeah.
Okay. This is the Wisdom of Solomon 7:22.
Right.
For wisdom, which is the worker of all things, taught me, for in her an understanding spirit.
Right. So in her, in wisdom is an understanding spirit. We're going to get to the point to what you're saying. But wisdom, when you have the wisdom on you, there's a clarity that is supposed to come about our minds and understanding the will of the Most High and things around us. Whether your battle, right? You deal with certain things in your life. You know that when I come to serve the Lord, prepare my soul for temptation. So there's a clarity that comes, with wisdom. And once again, we can go all day with this scripture right here, but I'll stick to your question. Go ahead.
Slakia.
Wow.
Taught me, for in her is an understanding spirit. Holy, one only.
Right.
Manifold.
Right.
Subtile. Lively.
Right. I like the subtile because the Most High said, Yahweh Shai said, be wise as serpents, harmless as doves. So not subtile in an evil way, but strategically being able to relay the message, right? Being strategic with it. That's what it means by subtile. Go ahead.
Lively.
There you go. So the word of the Most High is quick. So it enlivens you. It brings you to life. Right? You're not dead. You're not going to walk around moving and thinking slow. You're able to make quick decisions. The scriptures talk about a quick conceit, meaning your thoughts are able to make judgments moving in the spirit on the fly. To know what is going to happen and what negative repercussion can happen. It's something that the world don't got. They don't got that quick conceit. They go right back to what they know, which is my people destroyed for lack of knowledge, right? Go ahead.
Clear.
Right.
Undefiled.
Right. It is clear, undefiled. So our minds with the Holy Spirit becomes clear. What verse are you at?
I'm at in the middle of verse 22.
22, right.
Yeah.
Right, go ahead.
Plain.
Uh-huh.
Not subject to hurt.
Right.
Loving the things that is good.
Go ahead.
Quick.
Right, there you go. So the spirit, which is the wisdom that the Most High puts into you, right? That's how you know you got the spirit on you, right? It ain't just because you hear the word, it's because you do it, right? Be ye not hearers of the word, but doers. So it's just showing you here, when you go back to Hebrews 4 verse 12, the word of the Most High is quick. That's the spirit. Your judgment, your thoughts, your movement is life, right? So y'all, you get that, right? Now go back.
All right. Back to Hebrews 4 and 12.
Uh-huh.
Off the top.
Please.
Hebrews 4 and 12.
Uh-huh.
For the word of Yahweh is quick and powerful.
Right. So it's powerful, man. You know what? Let me add to the quick. Go to St. John 3. Just real quick.
St. John chapter 3 verse 1.
It's St. John, was it St. John 3 in, I'll get it real quick. It is St. John 3. And you're going to read verse, St. John 3 and read 7.
St. John chapter 3 verse 7. Marvel not that I said unto thee, ye must be born again. The wind bloweth where it listeth, and thou hearest the sound thereof, but canst not tell whence it cometh.
Right, because the spirit is constantly moving. It's quick, it's flowing. The word of the Most High, you got to see. So when we got the spirit on us, we got to see that how could you be quick but yet able to move and think in the right way?
Right.
Well, that's what the Most High gives you. He gives you a quick mind because the spirit is constantly flowing, right? Let me find the other one I quoted on that. Right, St. John 6:63. Add that one to it too.
St. John chapter 6.
St. John chapter 6 verse 63. It is the spirit that quickeneth.
Right. So it's the spirit that quickeneth. So there you go. I can't believe I forgot that one.
Sir, what was the first one that St. John you just brought up?
St. John chapter 3, verse 7 and verse 8.
All right. The water.
Come.
So you got to have this one. Read it again.
It is the
Tennessee.
spirit. It is the spirit that quickeneth. The flesh profits nothing. The words that I speak unto you,
right?
They are spirit. They are life.
Right. So you see that? Just about the quick. You know what I mean? Just about moving and in a quick mind. This is Wisdom of Solomon 8 and 11. Ugh. I love this one.
Wisdom of Solomon 8 and 11. I shall be found of a quick conceit.
Yeah, a quick conceit. So your thought process is able to know the right judgment and move on the fly, right? Because you're moving with the spirit is quick. You get that, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Now go back.
What's that? John 3 and 7?
No, Hebrews 4 and 12.
Okay. Hebrews 4 and 12. For the word of Yahweh is quick and powerful.
Right.
And sharper than a two-edged sword.
What you got?
Jeremiah chapter 23, verse 29.
On what? The sharper?
Powerful.
Oh, right.
Sharper and powerful than two-edged sword.
Jeremiah chapter 23 and verse 29. Is not my word
letting you know his word is a fire. There's another precept for it. Go ahead.
Saith the Lord, and like a hammer that breaketh the rock in pieces.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites.
Yeah, that's a great one.
Yeah, Jeremiah what?
23 and verse 29.
Right, so that's on the powerful. Then it says, and sharper. Right? And sharp. What you got on that one? One of my favorite ones.
Proverbs 5 and 4.
Okay. Proverbs 5 and 4?
Proverbs chapter 5, verse 4. But her end is bitter as wormwood, sharp as a tooth.
No.
No.
Nope. Why? Because whose end is bitter as wormwood? Who?
Esau.
No. Read that again. This is why y'all got to be on point.
Proverbs chapter 5, verse 4. But her end is bitter as wormwood.
Whose end is bitter as wormwood? Is this her talking about wisdom? No, because wisdom's end is not bitter. Okay, her end that's bitter, when you read the context of that chapter, it's talking about a wicked woman. That's what it's talking about. So that sharpness is not talking about wisdom. That's talking about how this woman, wicked woman. So go to Isaiah 20. Scratch that one. That don't go with that. Isaiah 29 and 2.
Isaiah 29, verse 2. Yet I will distress Ariel, and there shall be heaviness and
Isaiah 49 and 2.
Isaiah 49 and verse 2. And he hath made my mouth like a sharp sword.
See, so the word is powerful like a two-edged sword. But what did he do? He makes your mouth. The words that I speak unto you, they are spirit and life. So these words are like a sharp sword. You know what I mean? You dividing soul and spirit. A lot of times you don't even have to. Bro, I can usually be calm and say something out of the scriptures, and that word will rip through somebody's soul. You don't even have to come with the hostile, loud, it's just the word that you have to put out, and what does it do? It cuts. It divides. Spirit, right? It goes into the depths of the soul and checks those spirits. So this is what Isaiah is saying. The Most High had made him like a sword, right? Because the word was in his mouth. Go ahead.
In the shadow of his hand hath he hidden and made me a polished shaft.
Oh, he said a polished shaft. Why? Because he knew this word would be sharper than any two-edged sword. So this is what he meant by it's a sword, right? It's a weapon. You got to watch how you use this weapon, because if not,
Cut yourself sometime, right?
Well, you're going to cut yourself.
Okay.
That's the whole point about the two-edged sword.
Right.
You got to get cut. No, what it's saying is that you got to watch how you wield it, because you can do a lot of destruction. You know what I mean? What are the preachers and pastors doing?
Yeah, a lot of hurt and harm.
Right. So you can take this word, you can do good with it, and you can do bad with it.
Yeah.
So you got to be careful. Well, I got to figure out how to use that again. Yeah. So you get that, right? Did that help?
Yes, sir. That was great.
Yeah. Thawada. Okay. Did we have any other questions online? Yeah.
Oh, I just want to know, what was the question?
The question was Hebrews 4 and 12. Precepts that kind of line up with that.
Okay,
Yeah. Hebrews 4 and 12. Thought there was one more I wanted to. But I like that Isaiah. He said, yeah, made me as a polished shaft. It's a real powerful scripture. Do we got any other questions online? Real quick before we go into class. Does anybody got any questions? Mike? Nothing? You good? Tazamak? You do have a question? No? Okay. All right. All right. So if nobody got any question, we're literally going to go into this class. Right. I'm trying to give them a few seconds. Let me see what we got here. All right, nobody got anything on there? Shoot. What is this? I can't see it from there. Where? Shoot. Okay, shalom, brother. Shalom, shalom, shalom to everybody online. Any other questions? No? All right. Shalom, my brothers and sisters. All right, I'm gonna give them a few more seconds to see if anybody got any questions on there. If not, we're gonna get into this topic. Now, let me say this. This topic is another question. All right. The brother was asking. He was asking how did, for instance, brothers like myself or brothers that been in a while, how did you keep your zeal so long? How do you keep your zeal in the truth to keep going? Right? So this is a brother's question. The key to the door, y'all? Here is this one right here. And then take that one, that's yours. Yeah. So this comes from a question. So if nobody got any questions online, we're going to go directly into this topic. Nothing? Nothing?
What makes a married?
What makes a married? Reword that so I can make sure I know what you're saying. I don't want to start going on and then not understanding that. You weren't clear with that. What makes a married? Do you mean what makes someone married? Just repost that and then we'll answer that real quick for you. So I'm thinking you meant shalom. I'm thinking you meant what makes a man married. What makes a woman married? So yeah. You took that key?
Nah, I'll get it.
Oh. So marriage in the Bible. I'm thinking that's what his. Is that a brother?
Yeah, S.O.W. 1950.
S.O.W. Reword that. Let me make sure you're asking what the scriptures is. What I'm thinking you're asking. Like makes.
What makes a huge?
Yeah, please reword that. And then we'll answer that. And I know you probably already got all 30 precepts ready, right?
Sure.
You already, I know y'all, these cats are like ninjas, man. They probably already, they're already there before I even move. You know what I mean?
You know
what I'm saying? All right, marriage in the Bible. And I think that's what the brother's asking. Marriage in the scriptures. Did he come back yet? S.O.W. Come on, hit us back. I want to make sure I'm answering your question right. You said what makes a married?
Yes, that's what I'm asking.
Okay, what makes a man married? So Let's go there. Let's go to, remember, according to the law, what we were told was marriage more so has something to do with the cake, the ring, and the ceremony. And nowadays, it's got to be the Gucci bag or the Prada, right? Or you get the, what do they call them? The brides, the crazy brides, what do they call them? Bridezillas, right? If you don't get those things, then they become the bridezilla. So let's go according to the scriptures. Go to Deuteronomy. Yeah, go to Deuteronomy 22:28.
Deuteronomy chapter 22, verse 28.
Yeah.
If a man find a damsel that is a virgin, which is not betrothed.
So, very important. This woman is not taken by anybody else. All right? Because we know that goes with adultery. A woman wasn't supposed to, you brothers, you get into this entanglement to where you get, and that's real though. You get into this entanglement. What did I just do with my pen? To where you, where the sister is talking to somebody else. She's already promised to somebody else. You got to look at it that way, right? Well, what about if they just talking? You got to know and ask questions, right? And I know this should be a no-brainer, but it's not for a lot of people. Brothers will meet a woman, and she'll tell them, no, she's not married, or she don't got a man, but she got a side dude. But she not telling you that part. They call it what? He's just my friend. Right? You meet once in a while, and you bang each other.
Boothang.
Yeah, boothang, is that what they call it?
Yeah, yes sir.
Right? But she might not be considering that's her man. And you're wanting to get in this Hebrew Israelite relationship in honor and marriage, undefiled, right? A bed undefiled, but you didn't ask her the right questions and know that she was promised to, she was betrothed to this other individual. So you gotta understand, you gotta communicate. Don't make the mistake like brothers do and then get up in an adulterous relationship. Ask her, do you got any side dudes? Right?
Tom.
You ain't got no friends? Well, I do got a friend, but he just comes through and she'll start spilling it. You got to ask questions.
Tom.
So read it from the top.
If a man find a damsel that is a virgin, which is not betrothed.
Right, she's not betrothed.
I was going to say. That word virgin, that definition for virgin is that young marriageable woman.
Right, young woman of marriageable age. Right?
Tom.
Very important because we like to say, well, she wasn't a virgin, so I'm not married to her, all right? Oh, you had the definition of virgin was a young woman of marriageable age, because you can get women, they men die, right? So she was still known as a virgin.
Right.
Or the other one, which we know well, is a woman that didn't sleep with a man, right? So very important to know that this woman is a virgin in those contexts. So you still got to honor it if she wasn't a virgin. All right? Because there's niggas in Israel that would do what? Oh, she wasn't a virgin. The scripture says she had to be a virgin. You thinking unsexed, no sex, but it was still a young woman of marriageable age that can be remarried, right? That's a virgin too. Go ahead.
And lay hold on her and lie with her.
Right.
And they be found.
Meaning that it's known. Right? This process, when you go through the Bible, and we did a whole marriage class. We actually did a few of these classes. But when you go through the process, the reason why Moses is speaking on this in this context is because ideally, what is the first thing that needed to be done? Before you laid with her, what was the first thing you did?
Prove her.
Khan, you're right. Prove her. What?
Speak to the Father.
You would speak to the Father. So why is Moses bringing it out in this context? Because you got Hebrew Israelites back then and now, they already jumped to the part where they're laying with her, and then they didn't want to honor it. Just like now. You lay with her, and then we had a situation in our school, right? Well, I didn't know we were married. You moved in with him, you have sex with him, nourishing the sexual intercourse, but you don't know that that's your man? So this is why Moses had to come in with this. But ideally, the proper way is you in the ancient days, you made an agreement with the father, right? Then you go through the betrothal time, right? Which would now be dating, right? Promise to time. And then, as your agreed time, you guys would get married. You would lay with her. But a lot of this is not there because he's going straight to the point and letting them know, look, you've already, you're laying with this woman. Go over here so I can see. So very, very important as you go through the process of how to get married. You didn't just knock her over her head like the caveman days and lay with her and then say, you're my rib. Nah, that's not how we did things. We did things the proper way. If you go back to Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Abraham said, go find Isaac a woman of my own nation. You see that? Isaac just didn't meet a woman and be like, you know what? You know what I mean? The first one, that's her. No, it was a setup. So Moses is coming in a point because why is the law? What is the law for? The law is for the lawless. So he's got to remind us, you already lay with this woman. Now you got to endow her to be your wife. You see that? And that's why he goes on and says what? Go ahead.
Then the man that lay with her,
right,
shall give unto the damsel father 50 shekels of silver.
Why? That was the first thing that was supposed to happen. Right. When you go to Tobit, and I'm not going to go through all of this right now. We'll send you our class because it's going to take away from the class I'm going to go over. But when you go through Tobit, what happened? Tobit and his wife were what? It was set up. All that was promised to beforehand, and then they laid with each other. So it's very important for you to understand why Moses is coming in and saying it the way he is because Israel was disgruntled, they was wild, and they would jump the gun and lay with this woman and then act like, that wasn't my wife. No, she's your woman. Go through the process. Go to the father and now pay him the 50 shekels because you took his daughter. This is why the law is there. Go ahead.
And she shall be his wife.
And she shall be his wife. So the proper way of marriage, and we know that it wasn't the gold or the shekels, right? It wasn't the cake. It wasn't the ceremony. It was you already consoled this relationship, nourished it with sexual relations. You got to go through with it. This woman gave you to her. This woman gave herself to you. Now she's your wife, right? That way we avoid what? What do we avoid by doing that?
STDs.
Nah, you could still get an STD. You didn't know she was a hoe. She could still give you an STD. No, what did we avoid? Fornication. We avoid fornication. And what's the law say? We avoided doing what? Making not harlots out of the daughters of Zion. So you're right. Both of you are right. Or I think I said it. Somebody was going to say it. But fornication, you avoid that. And then you avoid making not whores out of the daughters of Zion. So this is how marriage was done. What's that?
It's funny because Esau got what they call shotgun marriages. So if they find that you slept with their daughter, it's like, nah, you ain't finna get away from this boy. You finna marry my daughter.
You finna marry
and they sit there with that shotgun and think you marry their daughter.
Yeah. Back in the days, it was a little more honorable. Like, you would have to fulfill the duty. You wasn't just going to take that woman and make her into a hoe. Right. That's when there was a real long definement of what a whore is. Now, there is no defining what a whore is. So they don't care. You know, she got the right to sleep around. That's what they teach and promote. Go to Exodus 22, verse 16. Exodus 22, verse 16.
Exodus 22, verse 16.
Uh-huh.
And if a man entice a maid that is not betrothed and lie with her.
So there you go again. This is in Exodus. If a man betroth a maid that is what?
That.
Yeah, you can't set your Bible down.
Uh-huh. That is not betrothed.
Right, so she is not betrothed. All right, so very important. She's not promised to. She's not dealing with somebody else. It's your job to ask. Go ahead.
And lie with her.
Right.
He shall surely endow her to be his wife.
So there you go. So twice in the law showing you, you have to now go through the steps and honor this when you lay with this woman to be your lawfully wedded wife. That's the proper way.
That's right.
Right? Now, I quoted it, but let's get it. Get it.
I got.
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. Leviticus chapter 19, verse 29.
Yeah.
And Deuteronomy chapter 23, verse 17.
Yeah.
Leviticus 19 and verse 29.
Uh-huh.
Do not prostitute thy daughter to cause her to be a whore, lest the land fall to whoredom.
Now let me say this on that. That part, it literally means now you prostitute, you selling her body. But we know there's another way to prostitute a woman. Let's be real. You know what I mean? You don't have to go sell her on the block, but if she's having sex for money, she's still a prostitute. When you buy her the bag and just be like, oh, she's, you know what I mean, I buy her stuff, she's a prostitute. All right, so don't try to play with this and be like, well, you know, she's not a prostitute unless you go sell her on the corner. Bro, if you buying her stuff just to be in a relationship, she's a whore. And usually nowadays, is that not the truth? That's why our women became whores, because now they're doing it for money. They're doing it for goods, right? So this is what it means not to prostitute them. We're not supposed to treat our women like that, right? So read it one more time. Where are we at?
This is Leviticus 19 and verse 29.
Uh-huh.
Do not prostitute thy daughter
Uh-huh.
to cause her to be a whore.
Yeah. So y'all get that, right? Where's the other one?
Deuteronomy chapter 23, verse 17 and verse 18.
Deuteronomy chapter 23, verse 17. There shall be no whore of the daughters of Israel.
There you go. You see that? So the marriage would stop whoredom. You weren't just going to have sex with women and jump here and there and jump around. We didn't do that. All right? We honored our daughters, the daughters of Zion, the women of Israel, and we were going to deal with them the right way. The law had to come because a lot of Israelites were disobedient, out of order, and they didn't want to honor these marriages. Yeah.
It was also supposed to make you think twice about the woman you was going to deal with.
Yeah.
And then being with, if I go meet her father, or if, you know, my parents go and they meet the father, you meet the parents, now you get to see, do I really want to deal with this woman based on looking at how her mother act? Because I done seen, you know, an experience where, you know, the mother act like the dang daughter. You know what I mean? Where it's like she promotes the promiscuous things that the daughter's into. She promotes that like it's like a joke.
Yeah.
So
I was looking at that on they did a T-Mobile commercial, and it was the mother had got a new cell phone, and she's over there dancing like she's 16, and the daughter was sitting in the back looking at her like, you know, mom's turned up all the time since she got her new T-Mobile phone. Right? But that's what they're promoting. That whoredom, so it could teach the young woman to be whores. Bro, I don't know why this topic came up, but I was just thinking about that with the Cardi B and the Grammys. And I was like, these chicks are literally whores, like straight up prostitutes on live TV. The commentator even said, I don't know how they put it off, but they got this on live TV.
Wow.
That's what they said. And I'm like, but they will promote that to the young black and Hispanic women to be whores. I don't want to take it too much off the topic. Yeah.
Peace out.
Con, where we at?
The book of Genesis, chapter 24.
Let's see if it's on point, y'all.
And verse 67.
20. Yeah, we could go there. That's fine.
So drop this.
Yeah, you're good with that. You're good with that. Read where you at.
And Isaac brought her into his mother Sarah's tent.
Right, now, let's be clear. There was a setup that happened. As you go and read through the story, the Most High told, Abraham told his servant to go do what? I want you to go amongst my kindred and go get me a woman. And they agreed, right? Abraham was old, so his servant went out to do that.
Right.
Now, you're at, where are you at again?
The book of Genesis, chapter 24, and verse 67.
Genesis 24, verse 67. Now, we just real quick, since you went there, we're going to read up a little bit, because you jump right to the point. You jump right to the point. You're going to read... So read verse... Oh man, I don't want to go too far back. Read read 47.
Verse 47. And I asked her and said, whose daughter art thou?
Right.
And she said, the daughter of Bethuel, Nahor's son, whom Milcah bare unto him. And I put an earring upon her face, and the bracelet upon her head.
So, if you read this chapter, this is this is Abraham's servant, and he's seen Rebecca, right? And he's like, okay, this is of his kindred, this is of his family. I'm going to give the goods to her. You see that? So that moment right there was him acknowledging that they were family kindred. He didn't want them to get no Hamites. Remember, Abraham was like, don't go where I'm from, go where my people are. He didn't want them. You see that through Israel. Don't deal with Ham all the way to the law. It was like, don't go amongst the Hamites and deal with them. So he met her, and he seen they were of the kindred, and this was going on here. Jump to 52.
Verse 52. And it came to pass that when Abraham's servant heard their words, he worshipped the Lord, bowing himself to the earth. And the servant brought forth jewels of silver and jewels of gold, a raiment, and gave them to Rebekah. He gave also to her brother and to her mother precious things.
Right. So this is what you would do. You see, there was a setup before you just jumped into bed. So that's why I like the story, because it literally tells you how a man got a woman to marry him. So the air, a lot of times, brothers don't understand why Moses wrote it like he did in the law, because somebody had jumped the gun. They didn't go through these steps. They didn't go to the brother if they didn't have a father. They didn't go to the mother. They didn't set up a bond and a contract, right? And that's another thing a lot of people think. The contract was done with the white man. Like, oh, you gotta go to the white man. You gotta get a marriage license, bruh. Show me where anywhere we were dealing with Esau or any nation to get a marriage license. It was an agreement between the father and the man. So they got that way wrong. Like, you don't see that in the Bible. We never went and got an actual license through the government or the city to say, oh, I'm married. That license was with the father and the man. And they will come to this agreement. And he will bring the goods, right? He would bring the jewels, the golds, whatever. Because you're taking something that was worth something away from him. Right? So go ahead.
And they did eat and drink, he and the men that were with him, and tarried all night. And they rose up in the morning, and he said, Send me away unto my master. And her brother and her mother said, Let the damsel abide with us a few days, at the least 10. After that she shall go.
Right, so you see that. You see, he wasn't forcing her. He didn't caveman drag her. They came to an agreement. It was like, listen, let her stay another 10 days with us, because she's finna be gone her whole life. A man shall leave the father and mother and cleave unto his what? Right. So this is what we got to see, that what was going on here. Right? She wasn't going to be going back and telling her dad and her mom the problems. She wasn't going to be doing that. They were going to deal with each other. Excuse me. Go ahead.
And he said unto them, Hinder me not, seeing the Lord has prospered my way. Send me away, that I may go to my master. And they said, We will call the damsel to inquire at her mouth. And they called Rebekah and said unto her, Wilt thou go with this man? And she said, I will go.
Yeah, you see that? You see, it was an agreement. You see what's going on here? All right, there was no us as Hebrew Israelites, we didn't bully, we didn't abuse. It was honor done in what we did, right? Go ahead.
And they sent away Rebekah, their sister, and her nurse, and Abraham's servant, and his men. And they blessed Rebekah, and said unto her, Thou art our sister, be thou the mother of thousands, of millions, and let thy seed possess the gate of those which hate them.
Right, so what does that show you? I want to see who caught it. And you heard me say this before. If Abraham is going to be in the kingdom and get blessed, what about his wife? Where's Sarah? She going to be in the dunghill? No, then his woman, the same thing that Abraham was promised, his wife was promised the same thing. You see that? So sisters are working as hard as possible too to be up in there in the stead. You're not going to get up there because your husband's coattail. You're going to get up there through your works. Whole nother class, but you get it, right? See all this information coming out in this moment of marriage. Go ahead.
Verse 61. And Rebekah arose, and her damsels, and they rode upon the camels, and followed the man. And the servant took Rebekah, and went his way. And Isaac came from the way of the well, Lahai-Arod, for he dwelt in the south country. And Isaac went out to meditate in the field.
To meditate,
To meditate in the field.
Right.
At the eventide. And he lifted up his eyes and saw, and behold, the camels were coming. And Rebekah lifted up her eyes, and when she saw Isaac, she lighted off the camel. For she had said unto the servant, What man is this that walketh in the field to meet us?
Right.
And the servant had said, It is my master.
Right. So now he's like, okay, this is him. This is who you're promised to. You see that? So our marriage, man, was totally different in the sense of things that were set up ahead of time. You see? Now, the promised time between them two, it was already promised. She was with it, he was with it, the Most High was with it. Y'all see that? Okay, go ahead.
Therefore, she took a veil and covered herself.
Right, that shows you she wasn't always covered too, because a woman can walk around and show her face, but when she went to see her Lord, what happened? She covered up. Yeah. She wanted to show humility, right? Go ahead.
And the servant told Isaac all things that he had done.
Right.
And Isaac brought her into his mother Sarah's tent and took Rebekah, and she became his wife.
How? What did they do in the tent? So, when were they husband and wife? With the money agreement? The betrothal time? No, it was when they went into the tent and she became his wife. Sex is marriage. Even though you do it the wrong way. Now that's why we adjure Hebrew Israelites to go through the betrothal time. That way you can know what you're getting, especially in this day and age, right? Especially in this day and age, whether man or woman, right? So this is there it is. There's a lot more we went over too, and we can. I'm going to have them try to look for the link and send it to you because we touch over this topic a few different times. All right, what's that?
No, we said the white man's marriage license started in 1919.
Mm-hmm. Right, exactly. Yeah, there was no all that. You have to go to the white man to. We don't got to go to a white man to do nothing but pay your taxes, render unto Caesar what is Caesar's. Other than that, your marriage ain't ordained by Caesar. Your marriage is ordained by the Creator. Right? What's that, sis?
I was wondering, do you think they started the marriage license thing to kind of keep track of us?
Definitely. That with the birth certificates, with the social security cards. Because back in the days, and I remember our family, they used to write in the Bible. They used to write your lineage in the Bible. Like if you go to the old folks, that's how they keep track. And then they started what? Social security card, birth certificate, to do what? The census, to lock you down, to make you a number, to make you a slave. Right? So yeah, absolutely.
Because I know at one point we were just jumping the broom.
Yeah, exactly. We kind of, as time went on, those customs, the biblical customs faded away and Americans' customs were implemented. All right? So what do we got here? Any other? So, yeah, bro, hopefully that answers your question. I'm going to have them look in the link in it. If y'all, sorry about that. If y'all are listening, if y'all can look in the link and go in there and put that marriage class in there for them, for the brother. What is it, E-Dub?
E-Dub.
All right. So what else we got? You could throw that one in there. There's another one in there too. You could throw that one in there. We've done a few of these topics. It's a common question that we go over. So yeah. So E-Dub, tell me if that suffices to answer your question. All right. Or if you need us to go in deeper for you. All right. Was that it? That it on the questions? Let's see here. All right. I'm going to give them a few minutes just to respond so we won't jump into this other question, until we answer this one. And while we're waiting for him, the next question was basically how to keep your zeal. And one of the first things, and y'all can write this down. When I thought of this, and you look at all the men of the Bible in the context of how the Most High told us to stay diligent in certain things, one of the first things that came up to me was distractions. What's the first and foremost thing that keeps you moving forward? One of the things that kept me moving forward is not having any distractions and things that are going to veer you from your purpose. So y'all can write that down. I'm waiting for E-Dub to hit. Hopefully that is sufficient for him. Write that down. Distraction. No distractions. So the brother had a question about zeal. And how do you keep your zeal going over 30 years? How do you last? You know, I always talk about the stories about how many brothers I seen come in, generals, stand in front of 40 brothers and tell me and the other 40 brothers, if you ever see me leave, don't never follow me. And then they lost their mind and they're gone. You got brothers that were mighty speakers, shaved beard, shaved top lips, and talking about Christianity now. You know what I mean? Straight out, all the way through, went back to Christianity. So how do you stay consistent? No distractions. A lot of times, the biggest thing, especially with young brothers and sisters, is distractions. So go to Revelation 3 and 11. Did he answer me real quick, Ak? Okay. Go to Revelation 3 and 11.
Revelation chapter 3 and verse 11.
And this is, we pulled this one the other day. I want to reiterate it according to this topic. We're on this topic, so I want to reiterate this scripture. Go ahead, read that.
Behold, I come quickly.
Right?
Hold that fast which thou hast.
And a lot of times, what you have is not a lot. You're coming in, you're new, and you're barely learning. Some brothers are barely hanging on with the thread of a needle. You know what I mean? You're trying to hang on to what you have, and you have to. The Most High said, Yahweh Shai said, I come quickly. Hold what you have. Go ahead.
That no man take thy crown.
Right, that no man take your crown. Well, your crown is taken a lot through distractions. Your zeal is diminished through a lot of distractions. You let things come in your life and distract you from your zeal. We were talking about this the other day. You come in, you got a spark, you're lively, and then what happens? Somebody along the way diminished you. It might have been a woman. It might have been a job. It might have been you seen somebody do something wrong in the truth. Somebody that you thought was going to be the right example, they messed up. And you let that distract you. You let that person, that job, that situation take your crown. You know what I mean? Like if you don't know it by now, nobody's perfect. No, everybody's going to make mistakes and mess up. If we were going to judge the truth off of men's works, oh, you might as well give up. Because men, we're not perfect. It doesn't matter. How long we've been in the truth, we're going to mess up one time. We're going to offend. We're going to make a mistake. We're going to stumble. Look at David. Was David cast out because he committed adultery? Was that just he stumbled? Hell no. That was premeditated. But he was forgiven, right? But if you were going to judge David off of his one mistake, see the truth. David ain't rocking with the Holy Spirit. No, he made a mistake. Did he repent? Did he put off? So, but a lot of times you looked at David or this individual around you, and the brother Shaquat, the brother Kazaki, I seen him mess up here. They use the brush with boar's hair. That's wicked as hell. I seen him do it with my own 2 eyes. He was brushing his hair with it. And you're like, man, this ain't real. These brothers ain't real. And you're like, but did you know that they knew? Did he knew that? He probably didn't know that. Right? He should have known. It's like, what? What the hell? But that right there, it sounds funny and it sounds funny, but what happens? You see a brother come in and he be in those seats. A lot of times it might not be up here. It might be in those seats. Right. The ones that are sick and vomiting and pus is coming out their mouth, and then they make a mistake or offend you or say something wrong, and it'd be like, nah, I'm going to fall back on coming and learning. You get your zeal ticket. Well, with me, I never let that happen. And a lot of times, why? Because the scriptures is telling us, let no man take your crown. I had elders that reaffirmed it. When I heard the elder tell me that, that really hit me. When he said that, I remember it like yesterday. We were all, it was like 30 brothers lined up. It was, and he was in front giving us those war speeches. And I remember I was just a little youngling, and he said, if I leave, do not follow. And he was gone. Right? He's gone. And a lot of men have fell off. I remember sitting on bunk beds back in those days. We had a house called Mount Zion, and a lot of those brothers in those houses, they went back. Right? That's what the scriptures say was going to happen. So you can't let anybody take your crown. That's the first and foremost. Go to Romans 8:35. Romans 8:35. So distractions. Distractions is the first thing that is going to weaken a lot of brothers' zeal. Is that going to be your reason? Is that why you're going to let your crown be taken? Go ahead.
Romans chapter 8 and verse 35.
Go ahead.
Who shall separate us from the love of Christ?
That's the question. Who you going to let take your crown? Right? Because a lot of times brothers don't acknowledge what they're really fighting for. You know, that's why you cannot come in and play like it's a fad. Oh, it's a clique, it's a crew, it's a boys club. Right? I'm coming to hang out. No, bro, you having to deal with your soul and your spirit. Yes, we're going to get a brotherhood, but we're all rolling together in unity because the Lord.
That's right. That's right.
Right? But if I start smoking crack tomorrow, you're not going to be like, you know what, man, because I can smoke crack. Damn, the truth is over. No, you're going to be like, damn, we got to help Kazaki stop smoking crack. The brother's tripping.
Yeah, right.
Right? But you say Khan, and everybody's Khan. But when the Comforter called himself the Comforter, you know how many brothers left the knowledge? Because they didn't want to recognize that the Comforter is cracked out. His mind is cracked out, but let God be true.
That's right.
There's always Judas was Judas. You don't say Judas was rolling with Yahweh Shai. How come he didn't get it? He was rolling with Christ. So how many brothers going to be rolling with us? We're not Yahweh Shai. And they're going to go off. If this man was sitting with the Son of God, the fish changing, all the majesty, all the power, all the wisdom, and all the things that are not written, that he was sitting there and talking to them about, you would think he would have been on cloud 40, like floating in Hebrew, right? But no, he was selfish, he was greedy, he was worried about his own things. So you can't come to me and say, well, why is it that brothers fall off? It was the truth. Because men's desires, and they don't know how to hold their crown. They let distractions come in. You know how I lasted from 15 to 43? I didn't let those distractions come in. I didn't let myself become a distraction. And I stumbled and I fell. Obviously, from 15 to 43, there's going to be some mistakes made. But I didn't let the mistakes take my crown. Because a lot of the condemnation hits you. Like, man, I'm just, you got those, the manipulators, they're going to manipulate themselves right out the kingdom. Like, man, you know, I can't do it. Why? The scripture said, just man falls 7 times. No, I'm just too wicked.
This is
This the eighth time. This is the eighth time. You know what, man? It's just better off for me to. It's better off this way, brother.
I forgot.
Right?
I forgot I was young. This brother told me it was a one instance. He said, "You know what, man? I gotta rethink my career, man. I gotta rethink my career decisions."
Yeah.
I was like,
We had one brother tell us what? Sometimes you have to go to the dark side to come to the light. I'm like, wait a minute. So Yahweh Shai had to smoke crack to say thou shalt not smoke crack? But this is the distractions. What shall separate us from the love of Christ? Go ahead, read on.
Shall tribulation.
Show what?
Shall tribulation.
And what happens? Tribulation comes in. You catch a little fire, right? You lose your job. Because it all happens right when your zeal goes up. Your zeal goes to the roof. You come with the Israelite cape. It got a big eye on it. You know what I mean? It's flowing. and you come in running. You come in running like this. And then your woman leave. Your woman's not with you. You like small Mario. It's like, what's going on? We ain't seen you in a second. The thing is, and then you try to play games with it. Like, I'm gonna be there. I'm just dealing with something at home. You let this woman diminish your zeal. You let this man diminish your zeal. Right? It be tribulation you go through, right? You lose the job. Then now you got to work 3 jobs. It's like, the Most High just freed you up. Right? The Most High is moving for you, but your mind is not in that mode. You're thinking, oh, it's life. And I got to go with life. You didn't see that when you come to serve the Lord, prepare yourself for temptation. And when did you come out of that? You know how long it takes brothers and sisters to realize? It could be that same brother that let that tribulation diminish his mind. It'll take him 5 to 6 years. And then he realized, damn, 5 or 6 years ago, I'm still in the seats when I wanted to be in doing great things like that brother, like that sister. But you let tribulation come in. So this is what diminishes brothers. This is what weakens your zeal. My question is that going to weaken you? Right? Because I didn't let it weaken me. I caught hell. I caught fire. I got busted down at least 3 to 4 times. I was a young brother. I got busted down for not doing my job. My dad was on me. He was like, man, you don't respect the rank. You're a trooper. You're going to learn how to follow. I didn't be like, you know what? See, this ain't right. Man, I'm done with this. No, I was like, okay, well, then I have to do it the right way. I wanted to be honorable. I didn't let that break me. I wasn't going to let him break me. I wasn't going to let me break me. I wasn't going to let a woman break me. I wasn't going to let a child break me. I was going to say, I said, I'm not going to let nobody take this crown from me. I want life. Right? Go ahead.
Or distress.
Right, you get distressful, right? What's going on? I just got to fall back a little bit. But you sipping on something. You didn't fall back on the wine. You fell back on the truth when the stress came, but did you fall back on the liquor? No. So stop. Don't play that manipulative, oh, you know what? I'm going to fall back on the zeal, the effort, the desire to keep moving forward, but I'm going to fall stronger into the weak things. You're going to give yourself to something. It's going to be something. It ain't going to, don't try to play yourself. You know what? If I'm going to get weak, it's going to be weakness around brothers. If I'm going to be weak, I'm going to do it around brothers to get strong. Why it always got to be weak? You got to retreat. Why? Why is that always the method? Retreat! Retreat! Why can't, you know what? My legs are blown off. I'm going to keep running into battle. Why? Because you're letting your zeal be diminished. Your crown be taken by tribulation, by distress. Go ahead.
Or persecution?
Yeah, your family cut you off. Friends cut you off. Right? Now it's what? You're so hurt that they're not rolling with you. You get what? You get persecuted. It's like the persecution. Family is cutting you off. They don't want to talk to you. You're crazy. Right? This is what weakens zeal. Not my zeal, brother. Pick one. Pick one of these things and ask yourself. Remember, I'm just a messenger. Ask yourself which one is it going to be. What's that? Aqua?
What's the scripture again?
Where we're at? 36. Romans 8 and 35 on down. Go ahead, read.
Or famine?
Or famine, or not having certain things. Right? I got to get too. Yeah, but you didn't realize that when I came in the truth, guess what I was doing? There was no rides. Old school wasn't like, hey, go pick that brother up. We do that nowadays. Hey, if you need a ride, we got you, brother. Right? They were like, listen, you know where the bus stop is? It's over.
You need the bus schedule?
Yeah, you need the bus schedule. When I got to Albuquerque, it was like, there's the bus. Until I got my first car. I got me a Nissan Altima, and that was it. But I had to go through those things to appreciate why and how to use them, right? And those are the things that motivated me. I wasn't like, see, brothers ain't give me this ain't the truth. This ain't the truth. The brother ain't give me a ride. Yeah, because men are not the truth.
That's right.
Thy word is truth. And us that are coming into the truth and the word working in us, then we're moving with the truth. The truth is. And that's what a lot of y'all minds get distracted by, is by people instead of the truth. Remember, Paul, Peter, John, Matthew, Bartholomew, right? You got to get this out here. They were working together, right? Were they not? Or did they say, you know what? I don't need to be, they don't need to be no 12. We don't need to roll with y'all. Did they say that? Okay, so they had a unit, right? They had unity, right? When Judas turned wicked, did they say, you know what? See, that's why I ain't dealing with no brothers. I can play the manipulative BS too. We are ninjas at this. All that old manipulative, you know what? That's why I don't roll with brothers. Show me in the Bible that the apostles did that. They didn't. That's in your little Kmart version mind of like, now you wise. Like, I'm going to come up with the best excuse. No, you're coming up with something else that you want to use to weaken your zeal. It was something why you didn't want to be around, and you just used that. Please. No, that wasn't in the scriptures. They didn't do that. They were like, oh, Judas was off. And then he was tripping. Listen, we're going to cast lots and get another apostle.
Right. If anything, they came together.
Right.
They didn't separate because of one man's wickedness. They came together in the council.
Right. So my question, and I know the question that is asked is, well, how did you last? Well, my question is, which one of these are going to be your distraction that is going to break your zeal and your diligence? What excuse is it going to be? Right? Persecution, go ahead.
Or famine.
Right.
Or nakedness.
Read.
Or peril.
Read.
Or sword.
Yeah, you got brother's rib told him, it's the coronavirus. You gonna go over there? It's like the brother's zeal was. I was like, man, this cat's gonna be hard. That's why the scriptures say, judge nothing before it's time. You know what I mean? That's why the scriptures say, prove a friend.
That's right.
But anyway, rolling hard. Oh, my rib, man, she told me, you know what I mean, the virus is like, in what? His zeal went from to, because you're scared of the sword. But you didn't know that the Most High protect the apostles, the prophets, the teachers from the sword. I mean, you died of the coronavirus?
La.
Huh? Okay, because you're sitting here. All right. You died of coronavirus?
Nah.
You know what I mean? Quantazam had got it before he even came out. He didn't die. You know what I mean? The ones who died of the virus, guess what? The Most High wanted to. You were going to die anyway. So, but you see, what drew and destroyed that man's zeal was what? He's scared of the sword, of the famine, of the pestilence, of the pearl, of the tribulation. So go to Matthew 13:19. I know you got something to say, but I'm trying to run through these because of questions.
Oh, no.
Go ahead, read that. Matthew 13:19.
Matthew 13 and 19.
Go ahead.
When anyone heareth the word of the kingdom,
right,
and understandeth it not.
So, wait a minute. One of the big things that destroys zeal and get a man to draw back is you don't understand what you're dealing with. That's from the gate. A lot of brothers and sisters think it's Christianity. You're going to come in, you're going to meet up, and next you know, you can still eat pork, shrimp, crab, lobsters, go out on the Sabbath, have sex with random women, have 50 babies and 50 mamas, have 50 men, and then nobody's going to tell you nothing. So you come in, and the first thing you do is get checked. You like,
That's weird.
like, hold on, I'm a man. You can't tell me what to do. Bro, you don't know what you're dealing with. Scriptures say we got to rebuke our people. We got to tell them. But that's comes through you coming in and not really knowing what you're doing. You just open up Pandora's box and it's finna give you a mighty ass whooping if you don't know what's happening.
That's right.
You open up this Bible and you thought it was going to be good. Nah, you went into the temple of doom and you start opening up things and swords start flying at you. You're like, holy shit, what the hell did I get involved with? And being that you're right at the door, what do? You just turn right back around like, hold on. That's, too much. Right. You niggas are too serious. You know what I mean? Put your pants up, put down the blunt, let go white women. You're like, hold on here. I thought this was just gonna be, I come to church, I give my alms, and I'm good. Oh, hold on. Or I show up for the Sabbath, the street speaking, play Israelite on weekend, and then go back during the week and be a nigga.
That's what I was gonna say. They call it playing church.
Right.
Yeah, let's play church. Let's play camp today.
Nah. Read it again.
Matthew 13 and 19.
Go ahead.
When anyone heareth the word of the kingdom,
right,
and understandeth it not,
go ahead,
then cometh the wicked one and catcheth away that which was sown in the heart.
Right. So you see that? Very, very important detail when coming in the truth and not letting someone take your crown. You got to understand what you're dealing with. You gotta know. You gotta ask questions. Hey, why is this happening? What's going on here? Why do you think this? Instead of saying, nah, this is happening, I gotta fall back. You should be asking.
Right.
Go ahead.
This is he which receiveth seed by the wayside.
Go ahead. You're gonna read down to verse 22.
But he that receiveth the seed unto stony places,
right,
the same is he that heareth the word,
right,
and anon with joy receiveth it,
right,
yet hath he not root him in himself.
You see that? You get that, brother or sister, like the example I just used. You receive it with joy. Man, y'all hear me say it all the time. Man, I had a dream about you. You gave me the flyer. You did. You had angel's wings. It's like, brothers, you be capping your ass into hell. You be capping yourself. That's why I don't deal good with flattery. I'm like, oh, okay. Okay, Barakatah Yahweh. Right? You got, that's not going to work. You got to see that there's got to be root within you. You got to be rooted. And that's why a lot of the wind comes right away and you be with the shaft, like the shaft that blows in the wind. Right? You're not planted by the rivers of water where your root goes deep down. Your roots got to go deep. You got to really start understanding what you're finna partake in. One of our chapters, our main chapters, is Ecclesiasticus, the second chapter. Right. Why? Because that's the Israelite initiation into what you're finna partake in the truth. And if you really understand that, it'll be easy. How many times have I had to go over with you, Lashana? A lot, exactly. I sat her down, say, sis, this is going to happen. When you come to serve the Lord, prepare your soul for temptation, right? Constantly endure. Have faith, right? All these things. And what happens when it hits you? You know what I mean? You're not ready for all that. You're like, damn, what the hell? You gotta have root. You gotta be rooted. Why are you here? Why are you fighting? What are you really here for? You better go look in the mirror and start asking yourself. Is it because your boy's in? Is it because your rib is in? Is it because you got a good feeling? Oh, the brother's a good orator. I seen them online. They were banging on Esau. And that's why I'm here. Because it's all about black power. If you're not here to serve Christ, you're not here for the right thing. If you're not really here to do the will of the Most High, like Christ said, you're not here for the right thing. Go ahead, LaShawna, what you was going to say.
That's how I initially found you guys.
Right.
That's because I never heard anybody talk like that.
Right.
So like,
and that's okay. That is the beginning. But if you're still moving off that mind and not understanding that, wait a minute, this is deeper. Because remember, the scriptures say the Jews require a sign. He told Isaiah, Jeremiah, go get your stuff and go move in front of them in noonday. Why? Because that was all a sign to show them, like, what the hell are these guys doing over there, right? So, yes, that is okay to hear it and to bring you into the truth. That's what it's for. The loud, cry out loud, spare not. They be like, whoa, these dudes are loud as hell. What the hell is going on over there? But as you come in, there has to be a root. There has to be a root taken. If not, if you're still moving off the cry out loud, when you get cried out loud on, you won't be here. You see that? So you got to understand. Go ahead and read on.
But dureth for a while.
But dureth for a while, right? You around for a second. You around for a minute, right? Go ahead.
For when tribulation or persecution arise,
right,
because of the word,
right,
by he is offended.
He's offended. She's offended. I don't have to go through this to serve Christ. My Jesus, I don't have to go through this. Ever since I met y'all, man, it's been hell. I lost my dog. I lost my house. My rib. Like, she's on the, she don't know if she want to be with me. Like, I look, it's like, what is this? You didn't read the script. You didn't read it. So by and by, 1 minute you good, and the next, you know, something happens and another thing happens, and then you get offended because of the word. What's that? Real quick.
I'm about to tell you.
Talk loud.
I was going to say, one time my uncle was talking to me, he was like, why would God give you things and take it away?
Right.
He was like, at the time, dealing with something, he was like, you got to reevaluate the people you're around. And he was like, something you're doing got to be off.
Right.
Because he can understand that basic scripture like Ecclesiastes 2:1.
Right.
When you say the Lord the correct way, the fatal soul of temptations.
Right. And things are going to be taken. He never read the book of Job. Job was a righteous man. Exactly.
He was supposed to be a pastor in the church too also. So.
Yeah. Crazy. Go ahead. Read down to verse 22.
Verse 22. He also that receiveth seed among the thorns is he that heareth the word, and the care of the world.
And the what?
And the care of the world.
Once again, we know what we're reading, but I'm posing the question. Which one of these things are going to weaken your zeal? The care of the world? The things and the desire? Well, I got to get that check. I'm good. I hear you. I know y'all over there. You know what I mean? But now your zeal is lessened because you're chasing the American dream. You're chasing those Biden bucks, right? Instead of chasing the Most High. And you know what it is. We can go through the list of all the things that pull you in the world. Pick one. It don't supposed to pull you. Your priorities got to be correct and understand that all that's secondary to me being a priest, a leader to the nations. Let's be real. Everybody's not going to be sitting on the thrones judging the 12 tribes of Israel. You had to give up a lot to be there. So don't try to play the Most High like you're going to just make it in because you show up to class. So you got to see what is going to be required. I'm going to ask again. which one is going to weaken your zeal? Right? Is it going to be money, car, a job, tribulation, persecution? Right? What weakened your zeal to get you to stop studying, learning? And I call it now a bystander. You just became a bystander. Why you ain't flipping the talents? These are questions you got to ask yourself. Read on.
And the deceitfulness of riches.
Right, and the what?
And the deceitfulness of riches.
That's a whole class in itself. It says riches fly away. So you're chasing money when money always has to be gotten. If you're chasing that, you err in so many ways. Right? Go ahead.
God, choke the word.
It did what?
Choke the word.
It did what?
Choke the word.
Yeah. Man, you know what? This job, it wants me to go away for 3 months. Right? And do what? It's gonna give me, I'm gonna be able to, bro, I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna make it, bro, they finna give you $1 million? Then you ain't gonna make it, bro. Stop acting like, stop. Right. You done committed yourself to the convent, to the wushu arts of the Most High.
That's right.
And now you gotta leave and go ahead and go work for the white man, and because all of a sudden those 2 months is gonna save you. No. That's just you letting those things choke what you initially. Hopefully you initially, right? I don't know where you initially was at, but ideally, brothers that's asking the question, how do you keep your zeal going? I'm thinking your zeal in the duty, service, ministry, the work, the desire of the Most High, right? Go ahead.
And he becometh unfruitful.
Wait a minute. So what is another thing that weakens the zeal? These things choke you to where you're still around, but you become what?
Unfruitful.
You're just part-time. You just what? You know, I'm here, I'm showing up, but you become unfruitful. Where's your works at, huh? You see what's going on here? So this was a really good question that the brother asked. How did you last all these years? Well, what I did, no matter how many times that I got, let me give you the disclaimer. I'm nothing, I'm garbage, I'm boo-boo. When you go in between your toes, that's me, the crumb. I'm not trying to say I'm special and I'm Jesus Christ. I'm saying what kept me going. All right? You got to say that, because I don't think I'm nobody special. I'm just letting you know what kept me going in the truth. It was not letting those small things diminish me. Not letting the brother, there was a brother, man, I was really close with. You know what I mean? And when I left Cali, you know what I mean? I was like bummed. You know what I mean? But I didn't let that diminish my works in Albuquerque. I said, you know what? I got to keep going. There was a woman I wanted in LA. And I was, at that time, 19. And I told my dad, I said, I want to stay in Cali. I want to do the work out here in Cali. He was like, you're going to Albuquerque. I got pissed. You know what I mean? And they were like, I think Kawakawa was like, listen, what's up with you? What's your problem? I was like, man, I'm trying to blaze my own name. Excuses, right? It wasn't blazing my own name. I wanted to blaze some back in Cali. Right? So, this young light-skinned Judite. You know what I mean? And he was like, nah, you remember you committed? You said you wanted to be on the road crew. You're here now. And snapped out of it. That's what I committed to. I went to Albuquerque, and there what? I didn't let those things distract me. I didn't let the getting busted down distract me. Right. I was like, I want to teach. I want to be a leader. I want to be like my elders. And if that's the way to get there, then I got to get there. All these scriptures that came in, I'm like, I already knew what it takes. Right? What you gonna say?
I just had a scripture on what you're talking about.
Yeah.
It was Matthew chapter 16 and verse 23. Because you're giving your example of what
Right.
you did.
Matthew chapter 16, verse 23. But he turned.
Right?
and
Okay,
said-
hold on. You're gonna read it, but go say what you're gonna say.
Because this goes with what you're talking about. Like, same scenario.
Right?
Same point. You know what I mean? Brother get checked. But guess what? That can't kill your fire for what you're called for. Or what you're supposed to be called for. For the whole reason that you got involved in the first place. Go ahead.
Matthew 16, verse 23.
Wait a minute. Start at verse 18 real quick.
Matthew 16, verse 18. And I say also unto thee that thou art Peter, and upon this rock I will build my church.
So you got this instance where Yahushua is talking to one of his disciples. Peter, he's letting Peter know, I'm gonna build this rock on you. I'm gonna build the foundation of my work when I leave on you. Go ahead.
And the gates of hell shall not prevail against it.
So that's an uplift for a brother, right? God? Read verse 23.
Verse 23. But he turned and said unto Peter, Get thee behind me, Satan.
Now, in this instance, now, he just got lifted up by Yahushua, right? But now he's getting checked by Yahushua in the same chapter. Wait a minute, you just told me I'm gonna make you a rock, I'm gonna make you a pillar. You're gonna be great. Wait a minute. Get behind me, Satan.
Yeah. Like, what is it? Am I good or am I not?
Yeah.
Right? 1 minute I'm gonna be the head. I'm gonna be this leader of the 12 apostles.
Right.
And now I you know how Israel do it. Oh, you called me the devil. No, I said you got the devil in you. No, you just called me the devil.
You said I was wicked. You said I was incarnate.
Right. But you have to see that it be moments like that. It be checks. It be correction. By and by you get offended, and then what? You're like, you know what? Nah, I can't. I'm not gonna do like the scriptures say, and take humble, admit your faults, move forward. So there's a lot of things, man, that destroy the zeal, and these are the upfront ones, right? They diminish that zeal because you don't understand what you're dealing with. You done with that?
So when you finish reading this gospel, you understand that even though Peter got checked by Yahushua, because at that moment he didn't savor the will of the Father, he still continued to roll. That didn't diminish his zeal. If anything, he was like, okay, well, you said I don't savor the will of the Father, then let me know more in depth, what the will of the Father is, so I don't hinder it. If anything, he does deeper in his zeal. His zeal burns even higher because of it.
Right. Yeah, but y'all know as well as I know how many brothers they get checked on that level and they start taking things personal. Corrected. They get corrected on that level and then they start taking things personal instead of just saying, you know what, look, I messed up. I was out of the spirit. Let me move forward, right? That's what Peter did. He had to, or he would have been like Judas and Peter and Judas, right? But it wasn't like that. All right, go from there. Go to Romans 5.
Romans.
You know what? Let me write that down. I'm gonna skip that because I want to get the rest. You know what? I'm not gonna be able to get the rest of it out. Let me just be real. So I'm gonna get as much as we can. Go read that Romans 5 and 3.
Romans chapter 5 and verse 3.
And for the brother that asked the question, I'm gonna just finish this up tomorrow. All right, the second part of this. How to keep your zeal is the question. All right, read that Romans 5 and 3.
Romans chapter 5 and verse 3. And not only so, but we glory in tribulations also.
Right. See, how many of us can glory in those tribulations? Instead of letting them weaken your zeal, how many of us looks at it like that? Come on, man. How many of us really look at it like that? Like, man, I'm going through it for Yahushua, man. Barakatah Yahweh. Man, I'm finna lose my kids over Yahushua. Woo, bro! Yeah! You like the pastor told you Told Hakowa, like, nah, man, there's something wrong over there. Ain't nobody over there. Ain't no brother kick in your house and be like, listen, you gonna get in this argument with your rib and your kids. No. The argument came through what? You try to show her we don't do Christmas no more, and she what? She was like, nah, we do Christmas. And you was like, okay, pick a path. Because I'm not going down that path. Right? That's where it came from. It didn't came from a Hebrew Israelite man, the whole camp coming over. You know what I mean? Oh, we finna divide this house. Thus saith the Lord. No. It was you said no more pork. And she was like, or he was like, nah, I'm eating pork. Right. You see that? It was those things that separated you.
Right.
So, but how many of us are looking at it like that? Like, oh, we glory in tribulation. Nah. A lot of brothers, it diminishes your fire. It weakens your zeal. When the apostles went cast into prison, they came out rejoicing.
Oh, yeah, they were happy.
Brothers catch a little hell, they lose a little money. It's what? Man.
I don't even know if the Most High is with me on this.
Right. You err not knowing the scriptures. Go ahead, read on.
Knowing that tribulation worketh patience.
Right. See, you're not looking at that. You're not saying, man, you know what? This is working patience in me. You know, I've been single for about 9 months now. I can tell you how, man. Yahweh, the water for teaching me patience. Man, you know what? That's funny because I know I've been praying for it. And now I understand why the Most High ain't give me a woman. But is that what you're doing? You like, see, you know what I mean? The Most High is not unrighteous to forget you. But look, I'm forgotten. Where you at, Yahweh? Where you at? My loins. Right? Who's thinking of it like this? Oh man, the Most High is teaching me patience. That burns a lot of brothers' zeal because they want it their way. You see? You want things your way at your time. You know what I mean? Go ahead and make the wrong decision. Just look at brothers around you. Go ahead and mess up. You know, I'm going to jump the gun. What's up, shorty? What's your name? What your name is? TikTok, right? You hit her off of TikTok.
Tinder.
You hit her off of Tinder, right? And then what? You like, you come in with that dumbass face. Like, you know what I mean? Listen, you know what I mean? You can't even talk no more. You like, listen, well, it wasn't wrong. You know what I mean? She's my rib, It's been 2 weeks, 2 weeks and she's your rib?
And she's gonna have a baby.
And how that happened in 2 weeks? How that baby yours in 2 weeks? Like, listen, one thing led to another. You know, no. But you're in a situation, you're in a problem, you're in tribulation, and then next you know, what you got to do? You got to fall back because you got to take care of your kids. Not me. I was like, listen, I got a baby. I had a baby. I was like, okay, cool. Right there, how about Shimi Al-Shad? It was like, do you want to be on the road crew? Yes, I do. Let's roll. Because nothing was going to stop me. I was going to be all the way up. You know what I mean? That was my mode. That's not everybody's. All brothers don't have the same zeal. I'm just answering the question. How did I keep the zeal going? How do you keep your zeal going? You got to understand that you can't let these distractions come in. It's all these things. Go ahead, read on.
Impatience. Experience. And experience, hope.
Right, you see that? So are you learning from those things? Are you learning and saying, nah, this is just, it's putting the right things in me that I need from the Most High? You're just going to read that verse. Tell me when you're done.
Just verse 4?
Oh, yeah, you went on a little bit. All right, so y'all see that, right? Go to Matthew 5 and 10. Matthew 5, 10 and 11.
Matthew chapter 5 and verse 10. Blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake.
Right. So once again, are you going to catch hell for Yahweh Shai and say, I'm blessed? Or is it going to get you gone? Pick what persecution. The Bible, we went through it, right? What is going to be the distraction and the diminishing of your spirit, right? What is going to stop you from being motivated, having love, having zeal, having more desire to do the will of the Most High? It says, blessed are they that which are persecuted for righteousness' sake. Go ahead.
For theirs is the kingdom of heaven.
Go ahead.
Blessed are ye when men shall revile you.
Right. Come on now. How many of you get reviled and you what? You're done with it. I'm done with this, man. Right? You get reviled and you don't want to deal no more. You let another man take your crown. You let your pride take your crown. How I dealt with it, I took the check and I moved on. I knew I was wrong anyway. Truthfully, I knew I was young, dumb, stupid, didn't know. And I was like, listen, I got all these elders around me. I was like, listen, let me learn. So a lot of time, yeah, it hurt. But what? They weren't playing with me anyway. They weren't gonna let me. They weren't gonna let me get out of order. They would have had my ass doing some backyard duties. I remember they had me shoveling rocks at one time, shoveling stones in the driveway. It's like, how do you do that? You can do it. God, why? Because I got that little. I was coming of age. I had to try to get a little backbone. It was like, what the hell's your problem? You got a lot of pride, Go shovel those rocks out in the back. Con. Why? Because it didn't matter. Whatever I needed to do, whatever check it was, I was going to say, you know what? For the kingdom, it didn't matter. That's real. From the push-ups at 5 o'clock in the morning, for brothers getting in my face right here, talking about, brother, what the hell is your problem? It was, Kana, Salat. Kana, right? You wiping the spit off your feet like, Khan. Try, brother Khan. You see? It was, but what it did was, it built in me a strength. I'll tell you that. To last. Now, not saying every generation has to be like that to build strength, but you're gonna need some things to care to build those muscles in the truth, spiritual muscles, to last. So this is why my zeal didn't get burnt out, why my desire didn't get burnt out. Go ahead.
And persecute you, and shall say all manner of evil against you.
Wait a minute. What happens when you get falsely accused of something online? They don't even know you. Somebody just randomly says your name because they're angry at you. They don't know the situation, but they throw your name in the middle of it.
They said you was in the Illuminati.
Yeah.
Because of your hand gestures.
Yeah.
You doing blood sacrifices, living it up. Like.
What about when you get falsely accused? What you gonna do? Yeah. Nah, you're right. Suffer wrongfully, right? You're going to take it and move on. But how many brothers and sisters really do that? And how many of them be like, man, choked up? They get diminished. Their desire, their dedication. See? Yeah, you was going to say something?
Yeah, before the Feast of Purim, before the Feast of Purim before it came, I was taking a Facebook fast. And then when it came, I went on the Facebook, right? When we took those pictures with the coats, an elder out of New York City was like, where's your priestly garments?
Yeah.
Like, we got fringes on the coat. I didn't say nothing, but that's what he said. I didn't go back with no help.
Right. And yeah, I said the same thing too. But y'all just had bought jackets that day.
Right.
And we understood you were just trying to wear your jackets. The thing is this, that's why you got to understand. Stop telling all your business online. Right. See, certain things, the example of what needs to be online, he is right. You can't be promoting one thing and then throw up the next up there. It makes you look double-minded. Once again, go through mine, go through Quatazab. And so he was right in that context. But one thing I understood why we didn't have to check brothers is because y'all just got the jackets that day. And you just took pictures with them. You had your garments on. You had your fringes on. You see what I'm saying? So, but there you go. How those situations like that will what? Get brothers angry. Start getting brothers to move out of the spirit. Yeah.
Yeah, so like I was gonna say, I remember him saying that, and I was like, I was thinking like, this is like a few years back. I was been on Facebook,
going back, right? Being niggerish, right? Well, that's beautiful because there's the growth. But how many of you can do like Yahweh Shai, be reviled and revile not again? And that's what you did. You knew what you would do back in the days, but now you're saying, no, let me refine that. I don't always got to speak on things because people don't know. You know what I mean? But remember, the question was, how do you keep going? That right there be like, see, man, that's why I don't mess with brothers. You hear that all the time now. That's why I don't mess with brothers. It's like, you know what that is interpreted as? That's why I don't have unity. That's why I don't deal with brotherhood. That's why I don't deal with no school. That's why I don't want to get checked by nobody, because how brothers deal. But one man's mess ups or lack of judgment doesn't give you the right to negate the gospel because of another individual. You see what I'm saying? That's never been okay. Y'all see that? Okay, where you at? Huh?
Verse 11.
Verse 11. Finish that out. Did you finish?
No.
Go ahead.
All manner of evil against you falsely for my sake.
Right, so that's it? Right, so these things are going to happen. And I doubt a lot of brothers see it that way. A lot of brothers and sisters don't see it like, oh, we got to take this joyful, and you know what? I'm going to keep moving for Yahweh Shai. A lot of people don't see it like that. We might be going over the scriptures to say, hey, the Bible's telling you to see it like that. But in reality, a lot of brothers and sisters don't see it like that. Go to Luke 21, verse 16. Luke 21, verse 16.
21, verse 16.
Go ahead.
And ye shall be betrayed both by parents and brothers.
Stop. Y'all know this one. What about when you get betrayed? What about when you get that call from the brother? You don't even get a call. You get a text. Hey, Shalom, listen. Yeah, I can't roll with y'all. Peace out. You be like, what the? They have no explanation. You're like, damn, Ak, what happened to all the spiritual Bible things you told me? But you get the text. The brother Uriah showed me the text. Yeah, I can't roll with y'all. Your brothers, I can't deal with y'all. It's like, what? Is that what priests do? No, but because of other men's ill dealings, sometimes men they're not willing to give and trust and be like, you know what? That's him. That's not how every brother rolls. That's not how every brother in the school rolls. That's not how every sister rolls. But cats that are looking for an excuse, they let that diminish their zeal and put it on everybody. Or I was betrayed once. You just came in with the same worldly mentality. I was betrayed once in the truth. That's why I'm not messing with no Hebrew Israelites. You let that man take your crown. You see that? I never done that. Never. Hell nah. Why? Because that's going to happen. It's going to happen. Go ahead.
And brother.
And what?
And brother.
Yeah, it'll be your brother. It'll be your mother. Right? It'll be your auntie. It'll be brothers in the truth. Huh?
Grandmother.
Yeah, it'll be your grandma.
Grandmother called that.
Right. Go ahead.
And kinfolks.
Read.
And friends.
Right. Read.
And some of you shall they cause to be put to death.
Right.
And ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake.
People can't come to terms with that. Y'all think that's it's just a scripture. Yep. It says their fear of the Lord is taught by the precept of man. Y'all just like, man, that's deep. No, that's going to happen. It is deep, but it's going to happen. And how are you going to feel and think? And where's your motivation going to be when these things happen to you? This ain't right. This ain't what I have to go through. I can't live like this. Or you're going to say, you know what? I'm ready to give it up for Yahweh Shai. I'm ready to give it up for the Most High. Right? You're going to read down to verse 17.
That was 17.
Go from there. Go to Proverbs 38 and 9. On this point. 38 and 9. You got any more on this point? You got any more? Okay. Go ahead. Read that.
You said Proverbs
30.
Proverbs chapter 28 and verse 9.
30.
Proverbs 30, verse 8 and 9.
Proverbs 30 and 8. Remove far from me vanity
Right?
and lies.
Right?
Give me neither poverty nor riches.
Right?
Feed me with food convenient for me.
Why? Why is he? What is he telling you? He's gonna be content, right? Your brothers and sisters got to see that. I want what you're gonna give me, Yahweh. Job was like, listen, could you not receive good and not receive evil from the Most High? Right. What you get is what the Most High is going to deal with you on. It's needed for you. It's needed for your path. And he understood that. I don't want none of that. Right? Read.
Verse 9. Least I be full.
Least I be what?
Least I be full.
No, I'm going to take what the Most High give me. Why? Least I be full. I get all I need, all I want. Read.
And deny thee.
That's why brothers and sisters' zeal gets diminished. Because they start to get full. They start to sit back and like wax fat and kick now. You know what I mean? The Most High gave you a rib, right? But you don't understand how to maintain the rib. He gave you the rib, but you don't know you got the rib by keeping yourself diligently in the fear of the Lord. Right. He gave you the car. He gave you the house. Oh, I know. Give it all right back up. That's how it works. He gives it to you, and you say, here, Yahweh, whatever I need to do with it, here it is.
Right, because he doesn't give it for you to consume it upon the lust. He's giving it for you for the convenience of what you're going to do for the body. Like if you get a new car, you pray to the Most High for a new car. But that new brother needs a new ride as well. You pray for a bigger house. There's a brother, there's a family, a new family that need a place to stay. You know what I mean?
Right. So see, and this is what the scripture is saying to show us where zeal gets diminished because you get full. Right? You get full up and you start to. I'm gonna go there too. Read that. Give me that Deuteronomy. Read on. That'll be the last one. Go ahead.
And say, who is the Lord?
And say what?
Who is the Lord?
And that's one of the biggest problems. Where do brothers and sisters' zeal get diminished? By thinking they got enough, they did enough, right? They are enough. You're serious, huh? Read that last one.
Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 15.
Read that, y'all. Deuteronomy 32, verse 15.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 32 and verse 15. But Jerusalem. But Jezreel waxed fat.
Jezreel meaning uprightly.
Right.
And what did they do?
Waxed fat.
That means they got lazy. They got complacent.
Right.
They got comfortable in their estate. You figure because the Most High is giving you money, He's giving you a rib, He's giving you kids, He's giving you all you feel you need.
Right.
You don't need to do any more work. I'm done. You know what? I've been showing up to class this amount of times. I'm good. That's the problem with Israel. The upright ones got fat and then kicked. Go ahead.
And kicked. Thou art waxing fat. Thou art growing thick.
So we didn't just get fat. We grew thick. We didn't just have ankles. We got cankles.
Yeah.
We became that fat person that couldn't get out the door. And that is going to kill your zeal. That complacentness is going to kill your zeal.
Yeah. So we're going to finish this up because we'll be here late. So we're going to finish. That's the first part, which is no distractions. And, the point in here with these scriptures is to ask yourself, are these going to be your distraction? All right. No, say that. Say that. Because the second part tomorrow, we're going to go into enough. That's where we're leaving off now. You did enough. You got enough. You're enough. We're going to go into that. That being another problem where zeal is diminished. All right. So any questions on that? No? Okay. We'll see if anybody got any questions online. That was what you think? That was a good start? Yeah. Right? Yeah. All right. That was what he got here? One brother told me he was too young when he came into the truth and had kids at a young age and didn't get to fully enjoy his life like he wanted. Yeah. Yep. I know who that brother was. Karatazaya, she's known the truth since she was 15. So she was in the camp out there in Albuquerque, and the brother she's talking about, yeah, he came in that young. He was cold too. Cold in the scriptures at a young age. But as he got older, he resented the fact that he had to give up. Right. What if you are not a leader or a follower? What if you are not a leader or a follower? Well, the Most High chose you for both. The Most High chose you for both, literally. So I know we think we know what we are or what we need to be, but the Most High called you, and He called you for a reason. So if you're not a leader or the follower, you're going to learn. The first thing you need to do is follow to be a leader, which the Most High chose you to be. A leader and a priest to Israel and the nations. So, yeah, that goes into where we were talking about Moses, right? Moses, you know what, man, I'm not a good speaker. You know, Jeremiah, man, I'm not a good speaker. I'm not a good orator. Jonah, why you don't just send somebody else? Right? Why it gotta be me? Right? You know what I mean? Why I gotta go to these heathens, right? You gonna go to Nineveh, you gonna teach. Right? And he try to run. So you gotta see that if you're not a follower or a leader, you gonna learn today. You're gonna learn the will of the Most High. Yeah, what He wants you to do. If He wants you, He will bring you through the mud for you to be the great man and great woman that He wants. So it's really not about what you want. It's about what He wants. Your life will keep going through turmoil, and you'll keep going through drama in your world until you realize your purpose. All right? What else? That was it? All right, we'll give them a few seconds. Brothers and sisters that have not given, I want to say that, because I know there's a few of y'all in there that have given for the lamb for the Passover. The ones that haven't and can, we ask you that you do. All right? Make sure y'all take care of y'all garments. And y'all know all the other things, the amenities that we all need that to get there. Y'all got to handle that. But I'm just talking about from the school standpoint, lamb, and y'all garments, I think I said, yeah. So I'm going to say this. We appreciate brothers, sisters that did give for the lamb. We really do appreciate y'all, all right? So I don't want to keep making it seem like y'all didn't give, but the ones that didn't, if you can, you can. If you can't, it's all good, all right? What else? I'm trying to wait to see if anybody has anything to say, anything online. It's gonna be a good Passover. It's gonna be a big one. It's gonna be a big one, man. So hopefully we see y'all there. We had got an Airbnb that is gonna really fit like 50 people, like almost 40, 50 people in there. You know what I mean? So from Virginia to Baton Rouge, and then Houston said they will come up. So it's gonna be lit. All right, nothing. Nobody got else anything to say. Calvin Washington question. Oh wait, Calvin, you didn't see that? You got a question? What's your question, Aunt? You gotta read the question. What's your question? What is thy question? We'll see if he's still there. If he's still online, we'll wait a few seconds. Is he still with us?
He didn't say anything.
Anything? Okay. I don't know where he's at. Oh, this feed is slow. So by the time it get to him, this thing, I'm looking at the YouTube, is barely catching up. Listen, if we didn't get your question out, we will get your question tomorrow. Yeah, it's kind of the feed is slow getting to them. So if we didn't get it, we will answer it tomorrow. All right. I'll give him a few more seconds to see if it got there. Y'all good?
Calm.
I'm trying to. This thing's slow, bro. Or is your feed caught up?
Here's the on this one. It says, "I seek, lover of truth. I seek refuge in God from Satan and outcasts in the name of God, the most gracious, the most merciful. All praise be to God, Lord of the worlds, the most gracious, the most merciful."
Is there a question?
No.
Okay, he's just bearing witness. Go ahead. What else?
They continue. Somebody else said they can't wait. I'm sorry. Calvin Washington didn't say anything.
He didn't say anything now? Okay. Well, y'all know the deal. We'll be back here tomorrow for Shabbat class. Everybody salute them. Let's say shalom.
Shalom.